Hello, welcome. You're watching Global Lens with me, BharatGen. Global markets are on the edge following a sharp AI-led sell-off in technology stocks. IT and software shares came under heavy pressure this week after US artificial intelligence firm Anthropic unveiled a new tool designed to automate specialized tasks and complex corporate workflows. The launch reignited fears that artificial intelligence could begin to replace core software products and traditional outsourcing business models, with some analysts warning of a so-called SaaSocalypse. The sell-off wiped off an estimated $285 billion worth of software stocks worldwide in Tuesday's trading alone. Anthropic's new product, called Claude Cowork, features 11 plugins and is designed to function like a digital colleague that is capable of reading files, organizing folders, and drafting documents on behalf of users. The tool is not being sold as a standalone product. Instead, it is being built directly into existing enterprise platforms, allowing companies to automate work internally rather than rely on external vendors. As the AI fallout spreads, Google parent Alphabet unsettled investors after warning of a sharp increase in AI-related capital spending. The company has projected $175 to $185 billion in capital expenditure for 2026, more than double last year's level, raising concerns about near-term returns on massive AI investments. Reports suggest that big tech is expected to collectively spend over $500 billion on AI this year. Joining us now on the show is CP Gurnani, co-founder and vice chairman of Ionos, and Ganesh Ramakrishnan, board member of BharatGen. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Mr. Gurnani, let me begin by asking you, how do you see the impact of Anthropic on software stocks all over the world? Would you call this a wake-up call? What's the lesson in all of this, according to you?
So, there are a couple of ways to look at this. Number one, when 3 years ago, ChatGPT started entering everybody's desktop or everybody's laptop, we all assumed that it is only for, being a large library, and it will only help us doing our search and research a lot better. Over a period of time, we saw 5 new versions come in, and each version was more powerful, and it integrated voice, it integrated imaging, it integrated video analytics, and we all saw that Copilot has now become an integral part of an individual's life. I think what we are seeing, the Anthropic part, is that this is the first time you're seeing this large-scale transformation in the digital life of an enterprise. So my belief is that Copilot, co-workers, agentic AI has always been on the edge, and now we are starting to face the reality, and it only means is while humanization of AI will continue to evolve, but the good news is I see it as a positive that AI will now get adopted by the enterprise, because enterprise was being very, very cautious. So I think it's a good news for the industry.
Right. Mr. Gurnani, I would also like to ask you, there are so many developments taking place in artificial intelligence around the world. India perhaps is not there with the skills, with the funding, with the ecosystem right now. Do you think it makes sense for traditional IT companies, legacy players, to possibly go bigger on acquisitions?
Again, each company will define their own strategy. When we started Ionos, it was an AI native company starting from a scratch, and we definitely know that if we are not AI native, then we will become natives. So now each company will adopt different strategy. You saw the performance of last quarter performance of most of the IT companies. I thought it was fairly impressive. And the stock market tends to get ahead of many of us, but go back and look at the revenues that Cognizant declared, or TCS or Tech Mahindra declared, I actually feel very happy that their commentary includes their adoption of AI. They are looking at larger deals and they're definitely looking at growth. Now, regarding the SaaS companies finding themselves in a bit of a pickle, remember Satya Nadella when he made the statement, uh, SAS companies in long run will suffer. I think his
Right.
state probably SaaS companies will be dead in a long run. Now, all I'm trying to
Right.
say is I don't see that happening. I don't agree with Satya Nadella. I believe that SaaS companies are a utility and software being served to you as a utility is the best thing that can happen to us. And number two, tools like Anthropic doing some of the manual work like data migration. I mean, I think it is a positive news. So for me, I believe that the stock markets are overreacting.
All right. So you feel the stock markets are overreacting. Please stay with us. Let me also get in Professor Ramakrishnan, board member of BharatGen. Professor Ramakrishnan, how do you see the developments related to Anthropic? Everyone in the tech world is talking about it. BharatGen is working on India's first government-backed AI initiative and foundation model as well. As someone associated with this so closely, how do you see the developments in artificial intelligence, especially Anthropic, making headlines?
Yeah, thank you. I completely resonate with CP Gurnani that this is actually a positive development from multiple perspectives. One, it's actually showing the value of co-design. BharatGen itself, which you alluded to, is based on the principle of co-design. It's set up as a consortium of 9 academic institutions, but run through a Section 8 not-for-profit company, completely run with the whole of government and whole of nation approach. So idea of collaboration, which we have a lot to learn from China, right? But their journey began maybe a decade back of this collaborative enterprise is also what Anthropic is possibly uh, providing a testimonial of. The fact that we can have solutions run based on domain knowledge, right? But AI provided in the form of a software that's actually very tightly integrated with even with legacy systems, and that's a big possibility. Now, open source should certainly challenge this. BharatGen, for example, is completely building open source models. With the support of India Aviation, our runway goes up to 1 trillion parameter models. And the idea behind creating these open source models is also to ensure that we avoid reinvention of the wheel. So we should take good lessons from this, but also at the same time very strongly adopt the open source mindset.
All right. Could you also give us a sense of what is the status right now of BharatGen's own foundation model? Are we going to see it getting launched at the India AI Impact Summit or maybe later this year?
So you probably heard Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh talk about this in Rajya Sabha today. And he said that this month we're going to have all 22 Indian languages represented in our text model, a 17 billion parameter mixture of expert. Now, so we look forward to releasing the model and obviously a lot of its variants. The interesting part here is, of course, that with this 17 billion parameter mixture of expert representing 22 languages, we are in a very unique league. Very few models of such small number of parameters representing such diverse set of languages, which again Honorable Minister spoke about in the Rajya Sabha today. The other important part is this also creates the foundation for many of our speech LLM, uh, text-to-speech model based on prompts, and also document vision models, the substratum for all of these. So you'll hear some of these. Along with applications, of course, there's an India Impact Summit. So we've been working very closely with many partners, co-design all the way, right, with partners, with domain experts in healthcare, in education sector, people who know that area very well. And we want AI to be complementary or supplementary, and certainly not substitutional in most cases. And this is the journey to India Impact Summit, right? Impact through complementary and supplementary interventions in several domains while building models that are sovereign. Now, the advantage of building models for the
Right.
first bite in sovereign manner is also that we understand the stack, we understand the recipes that are behind it so that we can tweak it to our advantage.
All right. Let me go back to Mr. CP Gurnani. Mr. Gurnani, how do you see the developments taking shape in the Indian AI startup ecosystem? Do you feel that India will be able to come up with some strong foundation models which will solve problems for Indian farmers, entrepreneurs, MSMEs, and maybe also bring solutions to the global south? And what kind of foundation models, kind of applications will really stand out this year, according to you?
So let's go back. I mean, you just spoke about BharatGen, which was an IIT Bombay-led initiative. Similarly, we have seen foundational models from various companies, some addressing language issues, some are looking at, uh, you know, more intense, use cases or domain-led LLMs. So personally, I believe while we are hearing from IT ministry, those 8 to 10 LLMs, I think there's a lot more happening in the Indian IT sector. Go back.
Right.
There are companies like Cure AI, which are working on life sciences. There are companies like my own company, Ionos, which is working on some of the operational challenges that the airline industry faces. There are people who are working, typically data that comes to you in a, it takes a long time for you when they say unstructured to structured. Now with the AI tools, I think you will be able to use the data a lot more faster. What does it mean? Supposing you are running a weather bureau and your decisions regarding disaster management are based on data. Earlier it used to be based on, last data received was 12 hours earlier. Whereas now you would be able to base your decisions on a lot more accuracy. If you're running an airline, remember airline is about managing crew, managing weather, managing the airport environment, and managing Delhi weather, if I were to use the word. So the point here is again, with the AI tools now being available to you, you would be able to take decisions a lot faster and lot more accurately.
Right.
So if I were to look at the India opportunity, I would say the opportunities are 1.4 billion people means we are the data capital of the world. 1.4 billion
Okay.
people also means that our data is a lot more accurate when it comes to education, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to agriculture. Even budget takes into account solutions for agriculture. The recent budget that came
Okay.
in.
Mr. Gurnani, I'll put one final question to Professor Ramakrishnan before we end, because I'm running out of time. Professor Ramakrishnan, how do you see the funding pipeline? What can we do to make sure there is greater funding for AI startups in the country?
I would say it has to be eventually a public-private partnership. So while government has certainly significantly invested, industry also needs to probably adapt a deep tech approach. Certainly, the RDI fund, again, the first tranche was announced yesterday, provides a very viable means of having industry as well as the government invest in deep tech, a vehicle for patient capital. It's also important, again, I want to emphasize the consortium approach is important because academia brings a research mindset, and China is actually harvesting the rewards of bringing academia and industry very close together. Empathy is needed both ways. Academia need to understand the TRL levels that industry seeks. Industry needs to understand the patient capital, the deep tech that is required to see the next kind of deep seek breakthrough.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Ramakrishnan and CP Gurnani, for joining us on Global Lens, giving us your view ahead of the India AI Impact Summit. We're taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. We're just 10 days